All right, hold on. Let's see. It's just so many. What's it called? Just so many channels. I don't know if I'll be able to find the video. Sometimes YouTube is weird, chat. If you watch a video, they like remove it from your subscriptions because I don't know if YouTube's like, well, you already watched it, so maybe you don't want to. Here we go. By the way, I'm not going to rub it in the Twitch chat's face, but am I or am I not vindicated, chat? This game is, or I'll just say this: competitive Yu-Gi-Oh is fucking dog shit. It's almost painful to play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Like, I will not fucking do it. This video is too. I know the only thing, and I just feel like I've been saying this for a while. But now that Farfa says it, people will listen. That's all I'm saying. It has been since Fiber. Yeah, it's not a great form. Yes, dual overload or dual power, whichever one it is. The fucking set that gave us all the Link monsters ruined this year. Like, that shit ruined any potential of this being, of us having like a decent dual power. Yes, that set fucking ruined. No, it just ruined the game. Yeah, I can say it ruined the game. It just honestly ruined the game. That set ruined the game.
Last month.
Dual overload or power? I think it's overload. I'm pretty sure power was the one that had impermanence. Maybe they fucking both had impermanence. One of them had impermanence. Give you guys some context.
When the ban list dropped, I highlighted two very important cards that I knew would be pretty detrimental and would dominate the
I remember him talking about LP.
Yep. Ghostrick Scare and Medolce Chevalier. Oh no, that's just my matchups from the bottom tables at locals last night. You fool! You thought I actually had locals.
Set of all time.
No, we don't. We don't have locals. We don't currently have locals.
I thought we would have went the locals by now.
Usually, when a ban list drops, there is a sense of relief and excitement for what's to come, and you know what's been deleted.
God, am I being spot drinking? I will never deal with your bullshit again.
Cards like Smoke Grenade, Bust a Whelp, and LP were completely untouched, and therefore were gonna be a bit of a problem. Smoke Grenade, gosh, how many times do I need to talk about this card? I don't know.
And we got a ton of them, like with those military.
Here's one thing, and maybe this is me being too detached from the meta. You guys never told me that you can get Smoke Grenade without I sold. That's something I didn't know, because I was always wondering how that fucking dragon deck was supposed to use it. Apparently they use like Vion Cube or some shit like that, chat. Like, what are we doing? Playing fucking Vion? I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know that they were searching it. I thought if they didn't hard draw it, then like that's why I never like understood all the complaining. We tried telling you, but you're stubborn. I don't remember that. Yeah, I see. I just learned that, rather, guys. I just learned that they search it by playing Vion Cube, which I just assume is just another random tuner we're gonna ban because of needle fiber. But I didn't know that, because the Infernable deck can just pull it from the deck at any time because of I sold. But I was like, why does everybody say it's such a big deal? Like, how the fuck they even get to it? Like, oh, they search it.
Looking ones. We even have.
I mean, the problem is, chat. Press 1 if you just ban Vion Cube and solve the problem. Duh. Just fucking ban Vion Cube. Problem solved.
Flashbangs.
Fucking ban Vion
ridiculous Cube. Smoke Grenade is in order to combat this. People have been playing cards like Drill and Lockbird. People are having to rely on non-engine, non-archetype cards in order to win their duels. Please pay attention. This is super important. But in terms of a practical example, I cannot out and I cannot deal with the dragon board completely using my own archetype and engine, even the dragon engine.
That is so fucking true. The biggest problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! That actually, this might be the most important thing he says in this entire video. Just listen.
My own archetype and engine, even the dragon engine.
Like right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! If your opponent makes a strong turn 1 board, there's like no Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck that can out those boards just using their own cards. Like, you have to rely on the 3 talents. You have to rely on Dark Ruler No More or fucking Lava Golem, Kaijus, Spearmo. Like, you have to rely on these completely unsearchable cards that your deck doesn't even want to fucking run anyways. Like, you have to rely on these cards just to actually play the game. Dogmakin, Dark Ruler No More, Bless. The game was like that for a long time though. Not prior to Arc V. I'm trying to think exactly when we got to this point. I'm gonna continue playing the video, but like chat, even dragons can't break their own fucking boards. Like just playing their cards. Like you need other shit to break it.
Ironic. A normal dragon board cannot be done.
How does a deck out Yamato set 5? Are we talking about cards now or then? Because I mean, like Feather Duster, like fucking Feather Duster. This is a good. It's always so crazy how if you just pause a video at random times, you can make anyone just look so stupid. Like anyone. We all look so dumb if you just pause a video at the right time. You can just make anyone look so bad.
Dealt with just standard marine sets, Salmon Great,
Late
Orcus,
2016.
Blackwing, Crystron cards. Many of these pretty decent rogue decks, and there's plenty more examples, just simply can't get through
for the first half. I agree.
Buster Whelp combo. Staple cards like Droll, Mystic Mine, Ruler, Lava Golem. These cards are way too powerful and have way too much of an impact on the game, but that's because they're necessary. Because of the domination and the mandatory nature of these overpowered staple cards and these really, really busted hand traps, it means that due to the fact that they're unsearchable and not really part of your engine or archetype, you need to draw them. Ha! Just draw it, idiot. Why are you complaining? Just draw the card. That's when the game becomes RNG and luck-based. Losing a duel because you didn't draw the right card feels really bad. But this isn't just a case of I didn't draw my Yankee on turn 7. This is a case of you have zero chance, none whatsoever, to win a duel against the meta right now, unless you very specifically draw a hand trap or a broken going second power card like Dark Ruler, etc. And even then, sometimes you need multiples of these cards. It isn't fun to lose where something completely out of your control, and it's why a lot of people feel really desensitized to the meta right now. I cannot stress enough just how bad and how unhealthy Floodgates are for this game, and it's particularly getting worse with the existence.
I actually disagree with this point. I'm gonna tell you guys why in a second.
Of something as crazily consistent as the Buster Lock. We did it! That's supposed to be a kazoo, by the way. I saved Yugi Tubing! Thanks for being with me on this journey, but the job isn't done yet, and I'm not here, and I'm not ready to celebrate until 20% more of this goal has been established and we hit 100K. Hit the subscribe button and be part of my totally normal community. Have you learned how to unmute yourself?
Si, senor.
No, okay, so here's the thing. I actually thought about it, right? I don't really have a very big problem with Floodgates, right? When let me tell you, let me put the qualifier on it, right? When those floodgates are specifically in the form of spell and traps, right? Like to me, when a floodgate is something like, man, I guess this might even some of the cards that I like might even be considered unhealthy, right? When a floodgate is something like Genlock, right? Where it's in the form of a monster, or what's like another common, are there any like floodgate monsters? I guess even Buster, the Buster Whelp is like an example. The problem with those type of floodgates, chat, is because spell and traps that are floodgates, Genzo, barrier statues, inspector border. The difference is, I distinguish the difference between just a spell and trap floodgate, right? Royal Oppression, Skill Drain, Macrocosmos. The thing about those cards is, historically, almost every one of those floodgates, doesn't even matter how powerful it is, whatever you guys think the best floodgate is, they basically all lose to the same exact thing. Simple spell and trap removal. The difference between a monster floodgate is, the monster is generally able to not only attack, but some of these monsters can protect themselves. Like these monsters have other abilities where they can negate shit or they can stop you from doing things. Like that's the difference. Like I can't think of any floodgate in Yu-Gi-Oh that like if you tried to MST it is just like, nope, I protect myself. Like that doesn't fucking happen. That's why, for those of you who don't know, that's why Royal Oppression, chat, lasted so long during 5Ds. You would think, Cap, why didn't they just ban Royal Oppression, right? How did you guys have Royal Oppression so long in Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, were you guys dumb? Why didn't every deck just play 3? Because shit like Cold Wave existed and Giant Trunade and Heavy Storm, and that shit didn't usually last on the field very long because we had so much fucking spell and trap removal. But now it feels like you can have these monsters that might have floodgate-like abilities that can also like protect themselves and omni-negate shit. I think that's the difference. Also, when you make these big boards of negation, I guess I'm getting a little off topic here, but when you make these big boards of like negation, and you don't clear them, the difference between like those big boards versus floodgates, like if you have, for instance, chat, a Mystic Mine, you can't like, yeah, I can't play the game, but you generally can't do anything either. Like if I have one monster and you have mine and no monsters, you can't really do anything. Like Imperial Order, you can't play spells either. Royal Oppression, you can't special summon either. So it's hard to advance your game state a lot of the times too, or at least you can't do it in just any way. When you have these floodgate monsters, they can just attack. They can still kill you. Like they're still a 100% threat. At least that's the way I look at it anyways. Floodgate monsters can still attack. That's the difference. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying Mystic Mine is like a fair card and it should, stay at 3 or anything like that, chat. But when I look at Yu-Gi-Oh! And the problems, floodgate spells and traps are really not the biggest problem, at least to me. You know what I mean? I don't know if that includes Mystic Mine. I think the biggest thing about Mine, chat, and the reason that I think you have to look at Mine differently is because Mine's like the only floodgate that stops you from attacking. That's like the only tier 0, like S tier floodgate in Yu-Gi-Oh! History that also stops attacking. Like all the other ones, Oppression, Vanity's Emptiness, Skill Drain, Necro Valley, like none of them stop you from attacking. Mine's the only one that just says no battle phase, motherfucker. And that was just, Mine does too much. Yeah, Mine's the only, it stops attacking. And that's just like fucking unheard of when it comes to floodgates. So maybe that's the thing. Just summon Zuking Alpha, Spell Canceller, Mystic Mine is fair. You only play those brainless set 5 decks. Of course, you support floodgates and have no problems. No, again, the thing is, floodgates just lose to spell and trap removal. Like to me, it's just kind of that simple. And the only way that you kind of have to the only way you can combat that is you have to have like other unsearchable cards, chat. Like you have to have like Solemns and you have to have the cards that counter your cards, basically, because the floodgate doesn't offer inherent protection. And Konami never designs floodgates that offer protection. But when it comes to like floodgate monsters, I don't know, man, they attack, and we usually don't just summon floodgate monsters by themselves. We usually have like Omni negates and shit, because that's just where Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. Just draw MST. Well, I mean, we have so much Feather Duster and Lightning Storm. We're not going to stop getting spell and trap removal, chat. Like, Konami's not going to stop making that. Just imagine if Mine stopped monster effects, Imperial Order, Jinzo still loses to Regeki. What about 5 floodgates? I mean, yeah, but what deck does that? Like, okay, if you have 5 floodgates, you're floodgating me out of the game, but like, are you playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Either? Like, you're not probably playing Yu-Gi-Oh! At that point. Unless whatever your monster is, you have to win off that monster and nothing else. True Draco Demise. They just play Skill Drain, right? Like, maybe Skill, or like, excuse me, Monarch Stormforce. The Monarchs Erupt, and like, there can only be, that's 2 floodgates. It's like 2 floodgates. Guru only plays, there can only be 1. Summon Limit. That seems redundant if you already have there can only be 1, to be honest. Like, those are what's it called. I'm not like ban all floodgates, but I hate when floodgates exist when the meta is combo heavy. Okay, True Draco kind of did that. Bruh, are you serious? Summon Limit. Who says my opponent wants to play Yu-Gi-Oh? I mean, I wouldn't play Summon Limit right now. Because if you go second, that shit's trash. At least there can only be 1 can like break an established board if you get lucky or something like that. That's just the one thing about Nadir's video, chat, that that didn't completely resonate with me. But I completely agreed with most of his video. Like, this is why, chat. This is why, by the way, in my video about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Was dead in 2020, I was, even though it was June, chat, I was ready to just write off the entire year. I was like, the problems that we have in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are not going to be fixable by the end of this year. Like, I just don't think Konami can like fix that. And hold on, so Celsa said the last time that Yu-Gi-Oh! Had a lot of interactivity or interactions was 2016. What was the meta of that, chat? I'm just trying to think. Because I have to remember, like, what was the meta? What was, like, the last time when we had where it wasn't about like negation boards and shit like that. Zodiac, ABC, was Zodiac 2016? Are you guys sure? I don't know that. I feel like Zodiac wasn't. I feel like Zodiac was like 2017. ABC, Metafo, Paleo. Yeah, I feel like Zodiac was 17. I definitely think we had a lot of, even though I hated the Metafo deck a lot, that deck didn't have any negation. The most that deck could do was like a full metal alchemist. Like that's the most that deck could like really do as far as disrupting you. That deck, it was really hard to like get through that deck because they had like Metafo's counter and shit like that. They could pendulum summon everything. Definitely ABC, Metafo, Paleo meta, Blue Eyes. That was 2016. We should do a 2016 Metafo ABC. You know what deck I used to play in that format? Dark Magician. Dark Magician was because Dark Illusion. Hold on. What was? See, I don't necessarily agree, Chad. I actually think 2017 Yu-Gi-Oh was still pretty interactive. They had Kirin, Cleaford Engine for Infinity. What deck are you talking about, Selza? Are you talking about Metaphos? Because I don't remember. Like I played against a decent amount of Metaphos. I don't really remember them making like turn 1 boards that were like good. I remember that. Yeah. That was when I used to play Dark Magician like hardcore. I would take Dark Magician to like competitive event. Holy shit! If I remember correctly, chat, that deck was so fucking expensive and it was like not good. But like I think like Navigation was like all the cards were expensive. I don't remember exactly, but all the cards were expensive because they were all like secret rares. When we got Firewall, everything changed. I'm gonna have to look that up. Best format was after Engage got banned. A lot of diversity. Well, see, I don't even want to talk about brains, but I just feel like, well, even if we just say the Metafo, what's it called? The Metafo ABC, Paleo format, like you just look at for anyone who's like a new Yu-Gi-Oh player, and they're always like, why are you bashing Yu-Gi-Oh, Cap G? Why don't you just play current format? Like, bro, look how the game was then and like look at the game now. Like that's all I'm like, it's just so different. You know what I mean, chat? Finish the Asianized video. I don't know if I'm gonna watch 4 minutes of videos. YCS Bokum. Oh shit.
What's up, guys? Live here at YCS Bokum.
Okay, who's that talking? It's not Slim. He also says Bochum, which is not, I don't think how you pronounce it. Navigation was $30.
What's up, guys? Live here at YCS Bochum with your new YCS champion, Billy Break. I feel like this is the, third or fourth time this said. This is your 4th YCS win?
4th one, yep. See the important part. 2 Mystical Space Typhoons for, going second. You can use it on your own combination to search. It's good against Paleozoic, so you keep it set and you can chain it when they try and bring their guys back from grave to destroy like their strikes and stuff. It's a very solid card.
Interesting.
And
what's up, W Law? Hoping it's still better. Look at this shit. You know what, chat? That might be a sign of a good format. Do you guys agree? Like I know, even though we had, I guess, Sky Striker that played it, but like anytime you have formats where we're playing like simple 1-for-1 spot removal, to me that's like a good sign of a format. If cards like MST and shit like Bottomless Trap Hole and Deep Prison, if those are like viable cards, that's generally a good form, a healthy sign, because it means 1-for-1ing is still like viable. 1-for-1ing is not viable in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. It just fucking isn't. Like you need to clear 5 fucking negates, and 1-for-1ing ain't gonna do shit against that.
Echo Mana, I think it's like a staple of this deck. It's like a 4th Bunbuku, because the whole point is when you start your Metalphone effects, you want to be able to scale a pendulum.
I think this is still a good format, but Barrier ruined it a little. Barrier. So what are you
monster
talking?
Next to the first
what's Barrier?
When Summoner's Art, like I just said about the being able to scale. With
wait, are you mean Cyber Dragon Infinity from this? I actually do kind of remember this. That shit was like super scuffed. Oh, dimensional barrier. Okay.
Also to gain value.
D barrier.
Because this card is very important. It's basically, these MGs are the only traps in my deck. Very good. Been very good all weekend. And that's all it for the monsters.
Oh my god, dude. Bring this format back, chat, but give pendulums, like have the new pendulum rules, right? Where you can't pendulum 5 from the extra deck. Fucking perfect format. Just nerf the pendulum. Go back to this format, but just nerf the pendulum mechanic. Because pendulum was just like, bro, pendulum could just grind too fucking hard. Like, seriously, pendulum just grinded. If you didn't kill the fucking scales, you're just gonna lose. They were just gonna summon all their fucking monsters back and kill you. Like, that was, I think that was probably my biggest problem, was just the pendulum mechanic as a whole was just broken. You know what I mean? Remove the right scale. I mean, well, we want to make it so that they can, like, you know, still pendulum summon. That's the biggest problem. Burning Abyss, Monarch, Cosmo. I mean, I remember this. See, I don't know if I can consider this because, like, bro, this deck was just insane. Or this is, see, the thing is, this is a whole year, right? This doesn't tell the story, at least not in a coherent way. Because when it says Performapal, to me that represents Pepe, Performages and Power. That deck was like not healthy for you. That deck was like fucking ridiculous. But like, this deck was good. This deck was cool. This 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 one for the most part was pretty cool. I mean, this deck was a pendulum deck that really played like a back row deck. So this was cool. Mermill, like, this is pretty good, chat. Outside of Draco Pals were tier 1. Outside of this deck, this feels like a pretty good, healthy kind of like format of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or era, I guess, of Yu-Gi-Oh! The pendulum mechanic just kind of fucked things up. D-Barrier was a mistake at the time. Dimensional Barrier, you boomer. Remember when Monolith was like $50? I do remember that. Because it was a secret out of probably Secrets of Eternity. Because I don't think it launched with Cleaforts. You just skipped Heroes. Did I not say Heroes? I mean, it's 13th. I mean, I guess. I do remember the totally. Actually, chat. You know what? Here you go. Here you guys go. If you guys want to talk about the most break my board deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! At this time, to me it was actually Heroes. Totally Heroes, if I'm not mistaken. They basically wanted to end on Dark Law and Totally Awesome. And if you could break that shit, you were gonna beat them. Like, to me, that was the most break board deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! But even that was like, I mean, I guess you could say 2 negate. Not even 2, it's fucking 1 negate, really. Totally Heroes was better. We forgot about Pegasus. Trial, he needs to be punished. Lawn mowing was honestly a fun time. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that grass. I totally forgot that's the OCG name. Lawn mowing next door. You're talking about that grass looks greener. Mass Hero was the best deck. Bring back grass. Magic Spectre was break my board. I mean, no. Break my board does not infer. Altergeist is not break my board. Any deck that sets 5, that's not real break my board. When I think of break my board in Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat, it's kind of like what I just said about Floodgates, right? Break my board to me means that if you don't break them, if you don't kill those monsters, they will 100% kill you in the next turn. That's how Triff wins a lot of his duels. If you don't break Triff's board, he doesn't need to summon anything else. The monsters on field will just kill you. Altergeist, if you don't break their turn on board, what the fuck they gonna do? Milu seek you for 500? Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Altergeist set 5 is not like, okay, you can sit there for like 3 turns. They're not gonna do any fucking damage to you. You're not in imminent danger, I guess, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, set 5 pass decks are not breaking that. To me, set 5 pass does not break my board. Because those decks just don't do enough damage to like have you in imminent danger. At least to me. You guys can disagree with my definition of like break my board.